What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo State College Bengals Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. In the last episode, the Bengals won in a landslide against Central Michigan in a game where Leon Jacobs rushed for a school record 5 touchdowns and was named MAC Player of the Week. The Bengals really showed off for 8 visitors, and it really shows going into next week as we got some great news with 7 of those 8 committing to play at Buffalo State. And more to come in what has been one of the most impressive recruiting classes in program history. The Bengals will likely end up with a similarly ranked class to the last couple of seasons, but for whatever reason, the talent level just seems much better this year. We'll get another recruiting update at halftime, but for now we have a game against Army, who has proved to be one of the best rivals we have in the MAC East Division. They are talented on paper and a young team just like Buffalo State, and Kirk's rocking with them. The Bengals have stayed healthy all year and are 2 games over 500, but Army also doesn't have any injuries, so this should be a pretty competitive game. Army is coming off of a loss against Kent State, who continue to be one of the best teams and biggest surprises overall in the conference. Obviously, Buffalo State has had a lot of turnover since last season, but Lance Rice didn't get to play Army. He'll get his shot today. The Black Knights are rocking with a fellow sophomore quarterback in Charles Pittman, who is obviously extremely mobile since he's an Army quarterback, but certainly not one-dimensional like Bryce Hopkins may have been a season ago, which allowed Buffalo State to dominate that meeting. However, they have an X factor on offense in true freshman Aiden Alonzo. He hasn't been super productive to this point, but there is no denying how flashy of a player he is, running somewhere in the 4.3 range. A mobile sophomore quarterback and a speedy running back are not the only comparisons that you can make between these two teams, as Army has restocked their positions with younger players from their previous recruiting classes. I anticipate that this is going to be a very close game, certainly much closer than it was in the previous meeting, and you never know, it could end up being one of the best games we've seen all year. Down at the field for the coin toss, Buffalo State wins. Of course, they elect to defer in this contest. Kevin Kinsley has it teed up, steps into it, and we are underway from Coyer Field. Mills back to return, drops his knee into the turf, and Army starts out at the 20-yard line. No surprise to see them go flexbone. Pittman sends Alonzo in motion, goes triple option, gets a block from Alonzo, and stiff arms Bender over to gain 13 and pick up a first down on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd and 1, they'll give it to Hobbs, and Rover makes the stop this time. 3rd and inches upcoming. The Bengals have an early chance to get off the field. They go flexbone formation. Alonzo comes in motion. Pittman keeps it himself and gets hammered. It's Jay Woods from a strong safety position. Buffalo State gets the stop. Rice and the offense come out in the pistol. Jacobs is the back. He audibles, gives it off to Jacobs. Jacobs looks for room to the outside, didn't like what he had up the middle, and instead goes backwards. A loss of 5 on first down. And Army would end up getting the stop. Pittman takes back over. Good field position from the 40. Outside dribble option, flips it to Alonzo. He breaks a tackle from Rover and stiff arms his way out of bounds on the far sideline after a gain of 12 on his first carry. 2nd down and 5 back in the bone. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Pittman triple option, flips it back to Diego. Donnell Diego gets a block and is across the 30-yard line. They have a stable of running backs, and they really use Pittman as 1-2. A lot of weapons for this Army offense. They start inside the 30, read option to the right side, and he goes nowhere. It's Tony Callahan in the backfield. We remain scoreless with under 2 to go in the first quarter. Buffalo State wants to change that. Shotgun bunch right side. Rice steps back, evades, fires over the middle, and Pat Hughes makes the clutch 3rd down reception. Not a huge window to complete this one, but Buffalo State's aerial game has been so good. Ace gun for the Bengals. Leon Jacobs is the back to the right side. He gets the carry, evades a defender by cutting to the right. Looks for the corner and wins it for a first down. Leon never gives less than 100% heart. They move the chains. Under a minute to go, 4th down and 3. They want to go for it. Rice takes a snap. Slot left side. Brown makes the catch. Down to the 25. A gain of 12 for the Bengals. They keep the drive alive. They've been pretty effective going for it on fourth this season. They come out spread flex 2x2. Rice fires to the outside, and Hughes makes the catch yet again, his second of the drive. And that will take us down to the end of the first quarter of action as the Bengals and the Black Knights are tied 0 apiece. Still scoreless going into the second quarter of play. Rice snaps from the gun, keeps it himself, looks for the end zone, touchdown Bengals. Call it announcer's jinx. The second I mention the score, Lance Rice decides to be a huge hero and change all of that and make me look bad. Come on, man. Pittman and the offense take over, down by 7. Set up screen right side and watch out, nearly intercepted off the hands of Jay Woods. It's third down. They stay in the split backs. Pittman takes the snap. Slot receiver left side. Here comes the rush, and he goes down. The third of the year for the phenom true freshman Bender over. Under 6 to go, they punt it back to Tommy Keith. He swerves to the right side, looks for the corner, wins it to the 40 with the step back, breaks a tackle, and is down near the 35-yard line. The Bengals have great field position. They come out in the gun. Jacobs is the back. Brown in the slot. Rice takes a snap, draws back, 4-man rush to the end zone, and it's intercepted. Only his third pick of the year through 6 games. I say that's not too bad. He did have Peterson open, but didn't put enough zip on the football. It allowed the safety to make up the def pretty easily and pick it off. Pittman back in the flex bone, runs option to the left side, and he has plenty of room and a block. Rover gives chase, can't get to him, and he's finally pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line and give him 32 on the rush as well. However, he did go to the 10 following a hit from Jay Woods. Thomas checks in on 2nd down and 5. Flexbone, send Alonzo in motion. Handoff, and Jay Woods clobbers him yet again. He's been hungry for some big hits and have gotten a few on the past couple plays. Speaking of Jay Woods, he put out Pittman for 2 quarters with bruised ribs. Greg Williams is watching closely. Third down split backs, they toss left side to Diego. He gets around the corner and is into the end zone for an Army touchdown. They tie the game with 3 minutes to go in the half. A weird but effective play call. Danelle Diego has an easy route to the end zone for the Black Knights. Both teams still haven't used a timeout, under 3 to go. Rice takes a snap, fires up the seam, and Brown makes the catch. You cannot press against Buffalo State, and if they're running 4 verticals, you certainly cannot run cover 3. Rice really does his best work up the seam. Rice, bunch set to the right side. Rolls to his right to extend the play, looks for options. Rice stops, zips it to the sideline, and Johnson is able to get his foot down. Beautiful extension of the play from Lance Rice. Can't ask for much better. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Bunch to the right side yet again on 2nd down. Rice quick drop, looks towards the corner, and Burrell makes the catch before being flattened, but he moves the chains with 18. Just over 2 minutes to go. Back in the shotgun. Rice gives up the middle. Jacobs makes a move, breaks an ankle, and gains about 7 yards. They let the clock run a little bit. Now down to 1:45. Preserving those timeouts, Johnson comes in motion as the H-back. Give to Jacobs, gets around the corner, looks for space, he's got it, touchdown! Buffalo State takes the lead with 1:36 to go in the half. And of course, say it with me, you cannot lose outside containment to Leon Jacobs. Army still has 3 timeouts and 70 seconds to score. It's 2nd down and 7. Thomas takes a snap, drops back. Pressure comes and he goes down. Or seemingly, but he gets back up and Bender over cleans up the mess. They actually ruled this a half sack for Bender over and Dennis Vincent. 4th wall break, that's pretty rare. 3rd down and 14, split backs. Wide receiver slot to the left. Buffalo State backs up, decides to press him again. Thomas throws to the corner. It's caught for a second, and Zach Jennings lays the boom. Excellent defense playing to the sticks. Buffalo State has 40 seconds and a timeout. 1st down and 10, they go empty 2x3. Army presses. Rice takes a snap, 3-man rush comes, drifts back, unloads downfield, and it's intercepted. Bordeaux takes it away. He wanted the deep shot for Myers, but he just doesn't have that kind of speed. His 2nd interception of the day, but Army couldn't do anything with that possession, and that takes us to the half. Buffalo State leads 14-7. A tightly contested conference game from Coyer Field, but around the rest of the East Division, Akron, Buffalo, and Buffalo State are in a 3-way tie, and Army sits just below them at 2-1. We also see that Zach Mead's Miami of Ohio Redhawks haven't had quite the season they may have been expecting with their senior quarterback. Looking at scores around the conference from last week, of course, Buffalo State curb stomped the Chippewas. Akron won against Ball State in overtime 41-38. But perhaps the biggest surprise is that NIU, a team that was so good a year ago, lost to such a bad team in Bowling Green. While the Bengals did get some good news on the recruiting trail, Brady Banta, the #1 fullback in the nation who considered Buffalo State, ended up committing to West Virginia. Some other miscellaneous recruiting news: Malik Dupree is becoming a more prestigious recruiter around the country, and from that he unlocked his second level of kitchen sink. While Lance Rice's touchdown to interception ratio did take a hit in this game, he's 38th in passing yards coming in. Leon Jacobs is 27th in rushing yards with 621 on the ground to this point. In the receiving game, Billy Myers is 16th with 525, breakout year for him. Oliver Rover and Tony Hawkins do lead the NCAA in solo tackles, but in total tackles, they are much further down the list with 31 apiece. Looking forward to see who's gonna break away and become the team's leading tackler. Or maybe they'll just stay tied forever. Who knows? Sean Robinson's TCU Horny Toads lost a game, which resulted in him falling in the Heisman watch and AJ Davis from Pittsburgh becoming the new favorite. Also, did I mention the upsets? Because yeah, this all happened. Iowa jumps from 4-1, which only means that #3 Oklahoma lost to now #2 Texas, which only means that #1 and 2 Washington and Alabama fell completely out of the top 10 after their first losses of the season. That's a very rare thing. Give me a time where you've seen #1 and 2 teams each lose the same week. Iowa just got an absolute gift. With the chaos out of the way, let's get back to Humble Mac football as Lance Rice and the offense start from around the 25-yard line. He drifts to his right side, looks to run, plenty of green pastures in front of him, and he takes off out of bounds across the 45, effectively moving the chains for the Bengals. They work out of the pistol with 2 tight ends to the right side. Rice snaps, read option to the left. Weak side gets a block from Johnson and is across the line to gain. A couple of runs for him early on in the drive. The Bengals, however, faced with 3rd down and 6 across the 50. Jacobs is the back to the left side. They set up a screen, gets a couple blocks and picks up enough for a 1st down. Spun down inside the 30, and the Bengals wasting absolutely no time. Brown in the slot to the left side. Rice against the blitz, dumps it off to Jacobs, makes a move in space to get around a defender and pick up the 1st in the process. 13 yards on the catch and run. Y-trips gun for the Bengals, 1st down and 10 inside the red zone. Rice snap, quick throw outside for Burrell, and he's into the end zone for a Bengals touchdown. I'm sure they're happy with a touchdown drive that results in them going up 2 possessions. It's 21-7, and they eat a little bit of clock in the process. Ensuing Army drive, split back, 2nd and 8. Quick pitch outside Alonzo, and he's met by a swarm of Buffalo State defenders, including Tony Hawkins. His first tackle of the day comes at a great time. Bengals get the ball back. 2nd and 10, Rice against the blitz, fires up the seam to Peterson, and he makes the catch into Army territory. Nobody has split a pair of safeties better than Lance Rice this season in all of college football. Couple plays later, just over 3 to go in the quarter. Rice takes a snap, pressure comes, fires up the seam again, right back to Peterson, but this time he makes reservations for 6. The 34-yard strike and a touchdown. 3-possession lead. How far can they go? We've seen them build a lot of momentum coming into halves. They don't back down. Army needs a quick score and then some if they want to get back in this game. Thomas read option to the right side, somehow gets away. Reverses field to the left side, and that's the magic they needed. Across the 20, and Ben Hall lets him pay. Cam Thomas is just the backup, but he wants some more playing time. 2 broken tackles in the backfield from big men. Maybe the reason is because Tony Hawkins was off the field a little shaken up. Army finally has a chance to answer a 21-0 run from Buffalo State. Thomas, triple option, keeps right side, pitches to Cooper, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. They cut the lead back to 2 possessions and do something the Michigan schools were not able to do and win some of that momentum back from this Buffalo State team. It's not easy as Tommy Keith goes back to return, and this is exactly why. He gets to the corner around the 30, step back to the 40, and out of bounds at the 41. Army does not get a chance to catch a break. It's first down and 10. Brown in the slot left side. Jacobs is the back right. Rice clean snap. Looks to unload downfield. He's got a man. It's Billy Myers, and he's got a step, and he's got a score for the Bengals. A career-long pass from Lance Rice and a career-long score for Billy Myers. 59 yards on the connection. And the two dynamic sophomores do their part in making this a 3-possession lead once again. 35-14 is the score as we go into the fourth quarter. The Bengals are roaring, and the Knights just have not been able to keep up in the half. Final minutes of action from Coyer Field. Thomas still in at quarterback. He takes a snap, steps up, quick pressure from Dennis Vincent, and he goes down for a loss of 6. The second-team MAC conference player a year ago leads the team in sacks. And look at this. Army's pulling at all stops. They have a cloak of invisibility on fourth down, and Jay Woods sees straight through it. Turnover on downs, although I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Jay Woods reassures Army that they're not going to win this game. Rice and the offense take back over. Wide trips. Rice unloads deep down the middle. He's got Peterson yet again. His third big reception of the game, this time for 33. And guess what? They ran the cover 2 again. Clown on him. I formation. Myers comes in motion. The give is to Jacobs. Jacobs with a hole up the middle and falls ahead inside the 5-yard line. Give him a gain of 10 on the carry. It sets up first down and goal. They spread it out, under 3 to go. Give to Jacobs right up the middle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown as Buffalo State takes a 42 impending extra point to 14 lead. They work this clock down to under a minute to go. See if they can finally get into the end zone. Pittman, triple option right side, pitches back to Diego, and he is flattened. It's the backup middle linebacker, Jim Branch, and it's become very clear and apparent that they have so much depth on both sides of the ball. 9 seconds to go on what could be the final play. 4th and 7. Pittman steps up and goes down. It is Merritt on the blitz, and this game is over. Buffalo State, behind the arm of Lance Rice, wins 42-14 over Army. I certainly expected it to be a much closer game, but when you come out with 4 total touchdowns from your quarterback who didn't play last season, and count in the fact that they absolutely blew them out last season, it's not as big of a surprise as you may expect. It only goes to show that this team keeps getting better and better each year, despite massive turnover numbers. 3 MAC conference games for Buffalo State, 3 blowout wins. You have to wonder what their future in the conference could be like. Lance Rice had an amazing game, throwing for just under 300 yards, but 3 touchdowns. Those 2 interceptions were more or less on me nonetheless. But if you want to attribute them to something realistic, we can say growing pains. Leon Jacobs had 17 carries for 66 yards and 2 scores on the game. He continues to get involved, as well as Lance Rice on the ground, who had a score. Through the air, Chris Peterson had 4 catches in this game for 96 yards and a touchdown, his biggest game as a Bengal. Pat Hughes on the stat sheet as well with 2 receptions for 30 yards, but Billy Myers held to 1 catch. But it doesn't matter because it was a 59-yard touchdown, the longest of his career so far. And between 2 great linebackers in Bender Rover and Tony Hawkins, we were wondering who was going to finally break that tie. It is Bender Rover. He had another monster game, padding the stat sheet. 10 tackles, 8 of them solo, 2 TFLs, and then a sack and a half. He has been a versatile linebacker and has come along better than I expected so far. Bullock was the one who got the sack in the final seconds, as well as Vincent had a sack. True Tinsley was also credited to half the other sack that Rover got. They also had 3 deflections, which basically attributes to 3 dropped interceptions. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I keep waiting to get to the point in the series where this isn't as fun to play through, but I am having so much fun playing through this series, and between everything on my old channel and this one, this is certainly the most fun series I have ever done. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe for the love of franchise and dynasty content, because believe it or not, whoop-de-doo, that's all we do here. We can build a winner together at Buffalo State, and click here to see more.
So